low back pain from having a baby. Watch this for the solution.
Our first caller is Monica from Nevada.
Hi, Monica. How can we help you?
Hi. Just like everybody else, I want to say thank you guys so much for everything you do. Been listening to you guys for a long time, and a lot of my joy and laughs come from you guys, as well as great source of knowledge. So I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
You got
it. Little backstory. I was pregnant, had 2 pregnancies back to back. They're 11 months apart. And I had really bad back problems. And I just kind of assumed it was always sciatica stuff. But after having my babies, I still really dealt with the back issues. So I finally went to a chiropractor, and he, asked me all the questions, and I told him I lift weights and work out. And he ended up just really making me feel silly for that. He said that I'm causing my back issues, and said that if I continue to lift, I'm going to regret it later on in life.
Oh, God.
He said anything that loads my spine is just causing all my issues. And he kind of just really made me feel silly, because he said he's trained a lot of Olympic athletes, and he used to own a gym, and basically said that weight training is just a new fad or a new trend, basically. And just
tell me where this guy's at. I'll fight him.
Is this guy? Sense, but just really made me feel bad. So I know in my heart, obviously none of that's true, but I was kind of wondering if you guys can make me feel better about what he was saying. Also funny, because when I originally sent this question, it was a couple months ago, and then just life happened, and I didn't go to the gym as I should have for like a month, and I've been back probably like the last 7 days, and my back is hurting again. So I feel kind of bad about that.
So Monica, I want a little bit more information, okay? Because
I'm guessing core related. That's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense that he would say all this, and he owned a gym, and he's trained athletes. So there might be more. Did he ask you what you did? Did he tell you what the problem was? Maybe it was the exercises that you were performing.
Maybe he's just an idiot too.
He could also be an idiot, but I want to give him a chance, because that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine somebody today saying weight training is a fad. This is
right, and that's honestly exactly what he said, and I felt so silly. I'm not sure. I'm not usually this person, but I'm not sure if he would have talked to me like that if it was a guy. I don't know, because he was just kind of talking down to me, and I left there feeling so defeated. But yeah, he asked me if I squat and stuff, and then he straight up, I kid you not, said that if I want big glutes, I should run up a hill.
Okay.
Yeah, he
is an idiot.
He is an idiot.
What's his name?
Yeah.
By the way,
what's his name?
I don't remember, honestly.
Darn it. We could give him a shout out.
Like chain chiropractors. So I think, I'm not sure if that, the joint or whatever, if that had anything to do with it, but.
No. Wow. Okay, so here's the strength training is just a tool, okay? It's just a form of exercise that does a really good job, better than any other form of exercise. It's strengthening muscle and the body and improving functional ranges of motion. That's what it is, okay? That's it, bottom line. So it's not a fad, it's a tool, just like running is a tool or any other form of exercise. Now, because it's a tool, like all tools, it can be used properly or it can be used improperly. Without any more information, it's hard for me to tell you what exercises to do or to avoid, and what to focus on for you. So I'm going to need a little bit more information on what your workout looks like. What exercises have you identified that might be hurting your back? Where's your back pain? Let's get a little bit more information.
It's lower back. He actually told me it was my hip flexors, which I was kind of surprised. So I want to maybe do stretches that help those, but yeah, it's my lower back. And I've noticed when I do RDLs, which is like my favorite exercise, it definitely gets sore.
Okay. And is it on one side of your low back, or is it across the low back?
It's across the lower back.
Okay.
I'm going to guess, Kate, one of the things she gave us clues here, and by the way, this is just me speculating. We would need more information, but I've had clients that have ran babies back to back. When you do that, you don't give a lot, like the core atrophies. It has to atrophy in order for you to build a baby in there.
Needs that elasticity.
Right.
That's right. And then because you ran it right back, had another kid like that, you probably didn't get a chance to kind of rebuild it, re-strengthen, get reconnected there. And so my guess would be that we just have a really atrophied and weak core right now, and doing something like RDLs, that's an area that you need that support there. And because you're not getting the support, you're feeling the stress in the low back. That's my guess based off of the little bit of information we have so far.
So to be more specific, it's not general overall weakening, although that happens. It's the change in recruitment patterns that happen in the body to make room for baby and to be able to maintain mobility. So your pelvis will shift to more of an anterior tilt. So like the butt will stick out more as the belly comes out. You'll lose stability from your abdominals. You'll lose stability from your transverse abdominals. The obliques will maintain some stability. And the hip flexors do take over quite a bit because those are still there trying to stabilize your lower spine. And so what happens is you have a baby, and without doing specific exercises to, kind of retrain the recruitment pattern, strengthen the muscles that are weak and get the muscles that are maybe overdoing their job to kind of take a back seat a little bit, you had another baby. And so it just solidified everything. So now you go back to traditional exercises like a squat, and your core is stabilizing in a way that it did when you were pregnant, except you're not now. And so you could start to cause some problems. So there's a couple movements that I think would be really good for you. Yeah. So I like the vacuum pose or vacuum exercise for the transverse abdominis.
Like an active plank.
Yeah. And I also there's a hip flexor deactivator crunch video that I did a long time ago. Okay. So we're going to send it to you. That's the title, in fact.
Yeah.
Hip flexor deactivator crunch. That would be exceptional for you, because what we're trying to do is get your hip flexors and your core muscles to communicate a little bit better. So those two exercises I think will help you quite a bit. And then when it comes to exercises like deadlifts or squats, I would avoid those until things start to feel really stable. Hip thrusts are fine. So hip thrusts are really good. Body weight lunges are going to be fine unless you have pelvis pain issues. But you would have told us that if that was the case.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. So lunges are good. Bulgarian split stance squats are good. Hip thrusts are probably okay. I wouldn't do anything like a deadlift yet, but you could do leg curls.
What about MAP starter to get her going?
Starter would be amazing.
Yeah, I would. Let's give you MAP starter. This is what I had Katrina to run after we had Max, right? So she ran MAP starter for a while, and then you also get the stability ball in there, which is going to help.
There's primers before your workouts, so it really will help you kind of repattern that. So repatterning your bracing mechanism is crucial right now. So everything kind of we're bringing up in terms of being able to reconnect with that, and even doing our wall test to make sure too your ribs aren't flaring too much, and to really pay attention to that, to be able to brace and control and keep support to the spine in any movement. Otherwise, you're going to keep feeling it if we don't get that established.
Monica, the other thing I want to do, so we're going to send you over starter. I also want to have Doug put you in the private forum, because I know we're all throwing a bunch of stuff at you right now. Do this, do that.
I'm trying to write it all down.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, we'll send you links too, by the way.
So they'll send you links. We'll also send you MAP starter, and then I'm also going to put you in the private forum. That way you can communicate with us as you go through this process. Okay. Because I know we're throwing a bunch of stuff at you, and it'll be much better for us to hear you go apply some of the things we're talking about. You give us feedback, tell us what you're feeling, what you're noticing, and then we make any sort of critiques and adjustment. But
100%. Okay, unless there was a major injury or something, 100% this is solvable.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And do you guys think a chiropractor is smart, or should I just steer away?
No. God.
No.
Terrible.
Avoid that guy.
I wish you remembered.
Negative star reviews.
Yeah, I wish you remembered his name.
Chiropractors in general, or just
No.
That one.
The one you went to.
That one. Yeah. In fact, when you get into the private forum, one of the best chiropractors I've ever met in my life is in. Two of the best chiropractors I've ever met in my life are in there. Jordan Shallow and Justin Brink.
Yeah.
Both those doctors are inside there. They're both chiropractors. They have that background, but they're brilliant.
Connect right away with Dr. Brink.
So they're in there. So when you get in the private forum and you share some of this stuff with us and them,
you could tag Dr. Brink.
That's right.
Justin Brink, and then see what he says.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. I love it. You're awesome.
You got it.
All right, Monica.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you're ever in Reno, come say hi.
You got it. Congratulations on the family, by the way.
That's right.
Great. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Can I? So we haven't talked about what was the name of the company we work with that sends PTs to your house? Luna.
Yeah, okay. Luna.
We haven't talked about them for a while. But I think one of the biggest misses in physical therapy, one of the biggest misses
postpartum.
Postpartum correctional exercise.
For the
necessary
and such a good investment, right? So if you're considering ever investing in a trainer and you are having a baby or about to have a baby, maybe the most important time and maybe the most beneficial time to have a specialist like that who's right there with you, that's watching. Because we could sit here all day and give her all these movements, but how she performs the movements,
that could change
It's
her answer.
everything. It's the intention. In it.
yes,
Yeah.
which is why I want to put her in the forum, because with the next step to this, okay, great, here's all these exercises we want her to do, but if she's not articulating them correctly or moving the way we want her
It
to,
won't do anything.
it won't do anything.
If anything, it might even cause problems.
Right. So that's important. And so if you're listening to this and you are pregnant or about to be pregnant or just were pregnant, investing in a specialist at that time.
Well, the challenge is this, and here's why, because I think if you get rehab post-surgery, that's necessary. Everybody knows that. Rehab post-baby is also necessary. The challenge is you just had a baby. You're not going to go drive to a clinic, have your newborn at home type of deal. So they don't do it. Luna sends someone to your house. So that's the difference. So, and I believe the website's getluna.com. So
I wonder if they're out in Reno. They might not be out.
But they send, they're growing, but they send somebody, and that's what as a new mom, you're like, I'm not going to leave, my baby, type of deal. Now, as far as the hip flexor thing is concerned, people are like, well, how's a hip flexor cause low back pain? One of the hip flexors, the psoas muscle, which starts with a P, it goes through the body and attaches at the lumbar spine. So when the psoas is doing more than it should, and which in the case of somebody who's pregnant, often that's what it does. Oftentimes the pain is at that insertion point, right, where the spine is. So it feels like low back pain, and you think it's your spine, but really it's a tight, sore hip flexor. And you might wonder, why is my hip flexor so tight? It has to stay tight to stabilize your core, because all those other muscles that normally would stabilize are not doing it.
It's the last line of defense.
That's right.